ended in Cape Town. The Taming of the Shrew, directed by award-winning Tara Notcutt, Joburg Ballet's Carmen, 13-year-old piano prodigy Qden Blaauw are some of the art stories that caught our attention this week. Well, to help us unpack various headlines in the art sector, we've invited Tammy Greer, who is the deputy editor of The Creative Feel, while Zama Mkhize is the sales and marketing coordinator for the same publication. Ladies, good morning and welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning. Thanks
Zama,
for having us.
Great. I suppose we should start with the inaugural Live Art Network Africa. What are some of the things that stood out for you in that four-day event?
I think it's quite important to first just highlight live art as a form in itself. It's something that is very integral, something which is very relevant, something which shifts society, you know, and we can definitely attest to that with the recent political situation that's been happening in our country. So just having the festival in itself is something that I feel is long overdue since it is the first of its kind. Definitely a Nigerian artist, Atigu, I would say his performance was one which had Twitter raving, had Facebook raving, in a sense that he definitely just destabilized Donald Trump's recent statement that he made, you know. So, yeah, definitely just that performance for me was something that was on the table.
All right. Tell me, I want to talk more about that performance from the Nigerian artist. I mean, he presented the piece titled Jangbala Jubo. I mean, how to explain history to American president? Do you think it lived up to expectations? And how do you think people were moved? Because that is a current story in our political sphere.
I think what the exciting thing was that it was live in a crowd of South African, just general public. So it wasn't just people who are used to going to the theatre or used to going to watch art. They were there watching this powerful message about actually we're not that kind of country, we're amazing. And he was cleansing Donald Trump, and then he invited the audience, which is just general South Africans, to come and help him teach Donald Trump that actually Africa is the best continent.
Let's talk about the Cape Town audience. I mean, their response to live art, as it were. Are you getting a sense that that form of art is being appreciated in those circles?
It definitely is. And the Institute for Creative Arts, who hosted this, they do a live art program every year. This one is the inaugural one, inviting African artists. But Cape Townians really responded well, and the way that they engaged with the artists and just really took in the messages and responded so positively was really amazing to see.
Yeah.
All right. Back to you, Zama. I mean, the celebrated and prolific director Tara Notcutt, The Taming of the Shrew, which is currently on in Cape Town at the moment. What are your thoughts around just what she's been able to do with Shakespearean classics?
Well, having studied Shakespearean context, I would just say that her piece is just very radical. It's very transformative in the sense that Tara she took an all-female production team, first of all, and then she goes on to cast a whole female cast, you know, in a Shakespearean play. So I think just turning things upside down is something that she did very bravely. And yeah, I really think that that type of theatre is something that we need, especially with the whole Me Too campaign as well, that recently happened, you know, where women are starting to claim their position, you know, not only just in theatre, but in different working spaces as well. So I think how she captured it is just really something that stood out for me.
And Tara, Tammy, do you agree with her, just in terms of how women are claiming their rightful space within the arts? And do you see more of that happening?
Yes, definitely. I don't think it's happening enough yet. I mean, men still take on the powerful roles, but I think that she is making this statement we're going to see more of this happening, that it is possible, that there is actually a powerful creative production team that she brought together to make this happen. You know, it's not just the cast, it's that the people behind the scenes were also all women, and that they were able to make such a great thing happen. I think that's a very powerful message.
Cool. Zama, back to you. Let's talk about Kane Pinchuk's portrayal of Hortensia, if I'm saying it correctly. It was singled out by a reviewer. Do you think that it's, had the impact that was intended? And who would you say gave the most stellar performance, if
I think
you can just go back?
For me, in a sense, it's because she didn't overdo the role, you know. It's being a theatre performer and having to perform a male role, and also with the expectation that already it's an all-female cast, is something that she did very profoundly. Yeah.
All right. Tammy, let's go on to magic. I mean, there's something that is just amazing about a magic show. It's sort of, it's one of those things that brings out the kid in all of us. How have audiences responded to these illustrators?
I think the Illusionists show was absolutely amazing. And the great thing about it is that if you're a kid, if you're an adult kid, it's something that you can really enjoy and just sit back and watch this happen. Like you don't really know where it's coming from, what's happening, you're just enthralled. And they're really excellent performers. And you sit there and you're shocked or you're laughing, or it was just amazing. On that note, I want Zama to think about what her favorite moment was just from the Illusionists. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be back chatting to Tammy Greer, the deputy editor of the creative field, while Zama Mkhize is a sales and marketing coordinator for the same publication. Well, this morning they're helping us unpack this week's art headlines. We'll continue the conversation when we come back.